Yeah, in those days there were a lot less games. We only had, I think, in a 12-round season with 2 byes, 10 games. So I joined Sydney in the 3rd season of what was the W League then. And yeah, look, it was, yeah, like we were all super happy to have a league because we hadn't had a domestic league for a number of years. So I guess the worries of, you know, where it should be and what needs to happen came a bit later for me and for most players. I remember the brand was actually Hummel, and it was a league-wide sponsorship, so every single team had Hummel. I remember waiting for training jerseys. They sort of hadn't arrived for a while. The balls were all the same across the league. There were real quality players in the league. Your best Matildas were still in the league, which was great. I think that was part of the negotiation, was that all players had to be part of the W League. So it was really fantastic that as young players, we had the best in the nation in the league. And I think Sydney and Brisbane had the brunt of those players. So, you know, playing at Sydney with the likes of Sarah Walsh, Heather Garriock, and, you know, I could name so many more, was really enriching for my career and for the career of the youngsters. And, you know, unfortunately at that time we didn't play many games, but we got so much out of training with the best that there was in Australia. And and Alan Stajic was the coach at the time as well, and I think, you know, he was a big reason why players wanted to come to Sydney as well, because you knew you were going to develop as a player. Yeah, it was when the league started, it was kind of, we didn't really choose where we went. So the Sydney-based players basically went into a talent pool and were kind of split between the 2 teams, and I think there was a bit of back and forth. I think I was originally at Sydney, and then last-minute negotiations meant I was then at the Mariners. But look, at the time I was happy to play for whoever, and for me though, I knew that Sydney was eventually where I wanted to be with. But in the 3rd season, yes, Stadge, you know, I remember him saying I wasn't playing that much at the Mariners. I wasn't having the best time there, and yeah, he reassured me and said you'll come to Sydney, and it happened, thankfully. And yeah, I didn't look back. I really thrived at Sydney from the moment I got there. Yeah, so that 2013 season's one of the more memorable early seasons for me. We did end up winning the championship, and I just remember we were a really young team, a super young team. A lot of older players had moved on, and we had a really up and down season. So, you know, we were on the brink of not even making finals, and I think we just crept in at 4th that season. And it was at finals time in the semis, we really just hit our peak. The pressure was off. We did what we had to do as a young team. And I just remember Stadge kind of sitting on the bench, just more relaxed in those games, knowing that we were going out there calm and getting the job done. We'd really hit our form at the right time, and then, yeah, making that grand final at Amy Park. It was, I think, the Australia Day weekend, and the men played the day before, so a lot of our Cove supporters stayed behind for our match. And I just remember that behind the goal it was just packed with our fans, and once again we played out of our skin, really. Everyone just seemed to mature in that final series, and it was one of our best games. A nail biter against a really good victory outfit. But yeah, I just remember everyone stepped up, and you're talking about players like Sam Kerr in their youth. I remember Nicola Bolger. Yeah, it was a really good team. Kaya Simon obviously put that wonderful cross in for Sam's diving header, which she always used to do in training, and pulled it off in a game, and then the trademark backflip that hit the newspapers the next day. So yeah, it was a really great occasion where our supporters were there behind us. You can see the photos of that game. The crowd looks amazing, and the atmosphere was really great as a player. We're in this new era now. You know, we had the first era with, you know, all the Matildas at the time that were in the country, and then that got transformed as players started to venture overseas, more your senior players. And we had a real good few golden years, which I'm so proud to have been a part of in the league, in terms of what players came to the league to play, your types of foreign players that came. In 2019, yeah, we had 4 amazing foreigners: Huerta, Colaprico, McCaskill and Aubrey Bledsoe in goals as well. And yeah, I mean, going to training, you know, we had really good, obviously, domestic players, but they just added another element, you know, to your sessions. You know, at Sydney, when you come to play for Sydney, that you're going to be successful, and most of all that you're going to get better as a player, because you know you're going to have quality players around you and a quality coach. So I think that was something that was built from the very beginning, and it's something that everyone that's part of the club, whether it's in the administration or leading the club up the top, to the coaches, to the players, to the volunteers on the day, has, you know, wanted the success for the club and ensured that every season the right people are picked to carry on that torch and make sure that Sydney's continued to be successful and, you know, continue to play the Sydney FC way. And that's what I think is the most important thing, and you know, long may that continue.